This is another Crafty Sauce video, and today we are back with another survival series here. And you can see I am outside the mansion right now, and the plan for today is just to work on stuff a little bit of interior, a little bit of exterior, all sorts of stuff. So let's go ahead in here and see. I have been moving a few things around here. As you can see, I got a few chests filled up a little bit here, still less than half of it. It's still going to be quite a journey to get it all here. But, where do we want to start? So I'm thinking we do the interior sort of room by room, so that way we're not sort of overwhelmed by anything in particular. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and start with the railroad train tracks going along the back of the mansion here, since we decided that we wanted them to go there. And oh, maybe I should put a back step on this door here. There we go. Now it's not just such a big drop whenever you go out of the door there. Okay, so let me go ahead and gather up the supplies to go ahead and bring the train line over in this direction here. But first, we are probably going to need to do a lot of shoveling. So I might as well go ahead and craft myself a new diamond shovel here since our last one broke. So we can go ahead and do that. And 28 levels. Know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna be lazy. I'm gonna go ahead down to the skeleton spawner since it's closer, and go ahead and get up to 30 and see what we can get with some enchanting. Okay, we are down here. Now let's go ahead and wait a little bit and just see what we can get. So I've been waiting here for a couple minutes, and it seems like the spawner is like broken or something because it's just hasn't spawned anything, which is really weird. So I might head back up and go to the other XP farm we have out in the ocean and see if that one's working. Okay, well, this one appears to be working, so I'm not really sure what was happening with the skeleton spawner. Uh, Maybe we'll have to figure that out some other time. Okay, well, I'm gonna sit here till I get to level 30, and how am I still at level 28? I'm literally one pixel away from level 29. Do you see that? That's like, why? Okay, we just got to level 30. So we can go ahead and kill these last few mobs here. Oh, we got a potato. Would you look at that? Not that we really needed it, and of course now we're getting tons of them. Well, I guess it's not gonna hurt to grab a few more. Oh, I just accidentally used the shovel. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, we'll collect this stuff up, dump all the rest of the useless stuff on in here. And yes, I am going to keep the chest plate because we can melt it down because apparently gold is very scarce in this world because we are using it for train powered rails right now. And I should probably just stay here and go to bed. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we are here at the enchanting house here. So we can go ahead and grab this here. And let's go ahead and see. I don't think we have anything. Yeah, well, we got efficiency, but yeah. Okay, let's see what we can get here. So let's go ahead and throw it in and see on breaking 3. You know what? I'll take it, even if it's nothing else. Yep, I'll still take it because it's still very useful. And I see we have an empty book in here. So I guess we'll go ahead and enchant that book. Let's see what we can get. Okay, well, I think we're gonna leave that there. Oh, we should put the lapis back. Yeah, we should definitely put the lapis back. And the book. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna head back down to the house and we can go ahead and keep working on that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and cut down this hillside a little bit here. And let's go ahead and run this train track right on through. Okay, so as you can see here, I have put the railway the whole way along there, and I also redid this area a little bit here. Oh, there's a cow over there. So that way we can just make this look a little bit nicer. I got rid of a whole bunch of trees here and filled in a hole. I'm probably going to replant most of those trees anyways, but I'm going to put like a gazebo sort of style thing over here, I'm thinking. So I sort of want to have a blank area to build that in. We're not going to do that in this episode, but yeah. Okay, so one thing, we have this tunnel here that I started that is going to go into the side of this cliff here. Where do you guys think this tunnel should go? Because if we wanted to, we could connect it up into a loop up to the other train station that I'm planning, which I'm not going to scale that huge hill right now, but right up on top of that hill, if you look off, you'll see our cliff house. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go around actually and do that. Actually, I can probably cut up right up through here. Or not. It seems the terrain is quite treacherous through here. There it is, the path. Okay, so if we follow this path, the top of the cliff is just right up over there a little bit. So this is the Cliff House right off over here and our Thanksgiving building, but I wanted to put a train station right here. And it's going to go down along here. It's going to go that way up to there, and it's going to turn over there. But if we sort of put it a little bit farther around, or maybe like down there or something, we could have that train track like come out of the bottom of this cliff here where the Thanksgiving building is, and we could make it a loop so that way it would all be one track, except for it would just be like longer. I sort of like that idea actually, because that could be really cool. Yeah, I might play around with that a little bit in the testing world and see what that looks like. Okay, well, let's go head back down to the mansion here, and I don't think I'm going to do too much more terraforming or outdoor stuff right now. I might actually go ahead and go over here and extend our path a little bit in this direction over here. So I guess I can go ahead and do this really quick. It's not going to take long, just up to the edge of the field. Okay, so I got all this stuff here, and you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and see how fast we can get this all finished up here. Now, I do want to look along our coastline here and see generally what we did. I think we also had some acacia leaves in here too, but that's okay. We don't need to have any for this small little stretch here. So we're just gonna put a few leaves here. Oh, that was some interesting lag. Okay. So we'll just throw some leaves here, and then we're going to throw some oak leaves here, and then I'm also going to make that look a little bit nicer right there. So just throw some right along the path. Yeah, maybe not right along the path. So maybe like there. I don't really like this gravel here, so we can go ahead and get rid of this. And then we'll go ahead and put some leaves over here. We can maybe going up this hill a little bit. Maybe something like that sort of thing. Yeah, too much. You got to keep it fairly low amount. And then we can go along here and maybe just place a little bit there, a little bit here. And then we do some bone meal, sort of spam it a little bit here. And then we'll go up this hill. Since this is sort of part of it, make sure to break all the dandelions because dandelions are ugly. And yep, so you're not going to be able to mow this hill too easily. So it's going to have a lot of grass on it. And then right near the water, you're also going to have a decent bit of grass. So we can go ahead and use a decent bit of bone meal up on this. And we do have a lot of dirt here right now, so it's not going to be too perfect. We're going to break all this here. Okay, so now we should be able to run back over to here and bone meal some of these firefly bushes out here. So then we can go ahead and grab them and place them along here. So we can go bam, bam. Then we'll place one right down here, bam, and then one right over here. So there's the firefly bushes. And then I also grabbed some of these. So we can go ahead and put one there. And then go down here and put one right there. Okay, so there we go. So now this pathway has already been extended here. And I think one thing I did do was go through and break all the tall grass right at the level of like where you would view from here. So that way you don't have to like, that way you can actually see the water but pretty easily. Ooh, but first, I have decided what I want to put here for my statue in this little area here. So let's go ahead up and find some blocks here. And I'm thinking, why don't we just use these since they're going to match the house? And I also threw my dirt in the chest here, so let's grab a little bit of that. And then I'm going to look through these chests a little bit. And I'm pretty sure we have an armor stand somewhere in here. So I have decided to make our statue right here. And actually, I think I'm going to have the statue facing the water. So it would be sort of out in this direction here. And then we're going to, uh, we can give it an interesting pose here. Hmm, maybe we'll decide the pose once we've, ooh, I like that pose, but do we have it going in the other direction? We might not. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. You know what? We'll decide the pose once we put on the armor. And for this, I have decided to put on our old iron armor that we had at the very beginning of this world, as you can see here, and then a used iron axe to go right on it. And then I feel like we need some kind of a something here. Hmm. Let me think about this a little bit. Okay, so I decided to use this pose here at this angle for a couple reasons. So when you come out here, it looks good because you're sort of looking at sort of maybe a diagonal profile of it. And you're not really going to be going around this side as much. So the back is facing over here. And then if you're coming from this angle, you can see it, it's facing right out here. So if we look at where the statue's looking, it is looking probably right out about here. So probably out towards the dock, which is just over the hill. You can't actually see it. So out towards the water, which is what I wanted. So yeah, okay. Well, I actually really like how the mansion sort of cups this area here with the hill here. It feels very enclosed, even though it's outside. Well, I think that's probably about it for this video. I know I wanted to do a bit of interior, but I don't want to give too much for Editor Crafty to edit since I still want to get this video out on time. So I think that's about it for this video. This is another Crafty Sausage video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe too while you're at it.